Being very entitled and controlling, narcissists have no difficulty stepping all over your personal boundaries. So that's why I put together an extensive video class called This Is Me. It has 25 videos, written documents, guided questions. I'm going to teach you how to have healthy boundaries. There's a link below, and I hope you'll find it to be quite therapeutic. Let me ask you a very simple question. When you think of the word narcissist, do you immediately think of peace? Do you think of contentment or pleasantness or joy? And of course, I'm asking a rhetorical question because you and I both know that the answer is no, not at all. Instead of bringing those kinds of ingredients to a relationship, narcissists, by definition, just by virtue of who they are, bring the opposite. They are creators of tension and agitation, annoyance and irritability. Just when you think you may have something smooth going on with them, something happens and it just falls apart. Narcissists are masters of creating and then perpetuating chaos. And when I say chaos, what I mean is they create an ongoing feeling of disorder and confusion. And it never stops. Okay. So I've talked with so many individuals who will say, what am I supposed to do with these individuals? Because they just bring so much to the table. First and foremost, we need to understand who they are and what their tactics are. And I'd like to talk with you about many of the ways, I've actually written down a list for myself of the ways that they create and then generate chaos. And then I want to see if we can figure out what's going on behind the scenes so that you can make your own better preparations for how to respond to them. How do narcissists generate chaos? Well, we have a lot to talk about there. First, one of the things they do is they do a lot of gaslighting. They want you to question your motives, your decisions, your memory, keeping in mind that gaslighting means they want you to have a lot of doubt about who you are. On top of that, they create chaos by mocking you and ridiculing you in general. The belittlement that comes from them can be nonstop. They bring chaos by asking loaded questions like, where did you come up with an idea like that? Or who told you something of that nature? They're not seeking information. They're trying to make you just feel off base. In addition, they create chaos by provoking anger in you. They love it when you become angry because that allows them to get off the center stage and put your irritability on display. They create chaos by reminding you that you are the problem inside the relationship, not them. And so anything they can do to bring out the worst in you, that makes them happy. They create chaos by having deliberate non-cooperation. We call that passive aggressive. They can also create chaos by generating what we refer to as revisionist history. When you're talking about various things that may have happened between you and them, they can bring up things from the past that are just inaccurate. And they can even know it's inaccurate, but if certain memories serve their purpose, they'll do that. And you're over there thinking that's not the way it happened. They'll just argue with you until the cows come home. That's one way they like to do it. They create chaos by lots of accusations. They question your thinking and your priorities. They blame you for any kind of differences that come between you and them. They create chaos with constant invalidations. Especially when you're in a time of disagreement. And there's more. They create chaos by not listening to you. You know, to them, you're not worth the effort. Why would I want to listen to somebody as dumb as you? They create chaos by stonewalling, by throwing up their walls. They refuse to respond at all. They can be stubbornly withdrawn. They can use triangulation. In other words, they pit a third party against you to their advantage. They can make many demands on you, knowing that you're not going to do it. You can't satisfy them, but then that gives them something to blame you about. They can create chaos by lashing out at you whenever you disagree, and they can be loaded with their irritability and anger. Of course, it's your fault. They can create chaos by being friendly in public and then cruel in private. And you're thinking, hey, what's going on here? It's like, there's nothing wrong with me. If there's a problem, it's at home here with you. You're the problem. They create chaos by picking a bad time to fight. It might be when you're walking out the door, it might be at bedtime, or it might be at some inopportune time. Speaking of times, they can bring havoc to special days, holidays or birthdays, or when you're having friends over, they can somehow put you in a bad mood for that. And they can undermine you in front of other individuals, and when you can't really defend yourself. Okay, is that enough evidence? These are individuals who bring so many tactics to the table and so much frustration. And I could have gone on and on with this list that I have here in front of me. But my point is, there are so many ways that they are counter to peace and contentment and all the rest. They don't bring that at all. And guess what? Whenever the strain and tension comes up, whose fault is it? Well, it sure isn't theirs. Now, why do they do this? Do they really get a sense of satisfaction from doing all the things that I just mentioned there? And, you can focus on that word satisfaction, and I'm going to say, nah, I don't think we can say they're satisfied, because by that I mean that they tend to just have such a chronic annoyance and irritability in general. I think we can say that they bring chaos more as a reason for justification. They may have their own annoyance that is just perpetual inside of them, but whenever they can see you caught in an agitated state towards them, it justifies, at least in their mind, why it's okay for them to continue to be, narcissistic, highly controlling and selfish and superior and all that goes along with it. Narcissists cannot, and this is important for you to understand, narcissists cannot contribute to your peace because they have no peace inside to offer you. And that's so essential. Their currency is their own internal agitation. That's what they bring, and so that's how they spend it with you. They have goals in mind when they try to perpetuate all this strain and tension in you. Let's take a look at some of those. One of the major goals is they want to make you responsible for their chronic misery. Like I say, they don't have peace on the inside, but rather than saying, I need to take a look at that, if they can somehow cause you to have a poor reaction to them, they'll say, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, there's my problem right there. If we can just make that person change, then I'm going to be okay. Guilty as charged. That's how they think. Or another goal that they want is they want to keep you in that anger state, like I mentioned, because it keeps the focus off of their anger and it keeps the focus off of all of their agitation. You're the one who's irritable, and then you can see that allows them to also play the role of the victim. It's like, my life would be going just great if it weren't for someone like you. Look what you've done to bring my quality of life down. Also, part of the reason that they stay in this chaotic state is they're projecting their unfinished business onto you. Like I say, they can't come to terms with themselves, but they'll say, well, yeah, it's not me. You have the problem. And just about every time they make an accusation, it's also a confession. But of course, they don't have enough insight to see that. And they desperately need to be in a superior position. And so by them coming down in a critical way towards you and trying to provoke you into your lesser kind of responses, then that allows them to say, see, of the two of us, I'm clearly the better one. Narcissists have incredibly poor self-reflection skills. And so you're going to need to hold on to that as you think, well, okay, Dr. C, I see what you're doing. I see what you're getting at here. Can they make any adjustments? And the answer is, well, to make adjustments, they have to have self-reflection. They truly don't see themselves as problematic, despite mountains upon mountains of evidence to the contrary. No, you have done it to them. Keep in mind, though, before you ever showed up in that person's life, they already had problems. They already had their difficulties, and part of the ingredients that they bring to you is they have their own paranoia. Life has not been good to them, and they've had all sorts of question marks about how people think, and so they're wondering, well, are you going to be next? So if they can try to gain an upper hand by creating a chaotic atmosphere and then putting it all at your feet, then somehow they think, mission accomplished, I did it, I'm ahead. And on top of that, it allows them to feel like they're in control. And my response to that is, Mr. and Ms. Narcissist, control is not the same thing as dominance. Yeah, you can be dominant, but you're an out of control person and you're trying to create out of control responses. Narcissists are in profound pain. That's what they bring. They don't bring peace, they bring pain. And they can't manage their pain well, and so they generate pain because that's all that they have to offer. They fear you when you say, I want to do something separate from you. I don't want to be a part of this game. As far as they're concerned, when you pull away from them, then they take that as a referendum about themselves. Oh, so you think I'm no good, huh? Of course, you're thinking, well, where do you want to start on that one? Their thinking is so twisted and so illogical. That's what they have to, or that's what they bring to the equation. And so when we say they're narcissists who bring chaos, it's like, yeah, because they don't know themselves. They don't understand life. They have poor emotional intelligence. And so the bottom line is, as long as they can point to you and say, you're the disordered one here, then they're off the hook. Now, narcissists, as they bring all of these ingredients, you may just be feeling tense as you're listening to all of this, like, oh man, this brings back so many memories. What they're wanting from you is they want you to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to join you in that chaotic way of living. They love that because, again, that takes them off the hook. Don't take the bait. My thinking is you or I have enough responsibility on our own by trying to take care of who we are. Don't play their pervasive game that's called let's you and me be irresponsible together. Nope, not playing that game. And I hope that videos like this can give you some good awareness of what you're dealing with. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do so, and we'll keep more videos coming. Inside my channel, you'll see a little tab that says videos. I have a whole bunch of videos that you can peruse through. I hope it's part of your education process. As you're going through something like this, I know that there are times when you think, I could use some help sorting this out. I could use some therapy. Well, you know, I've been sponsored for years by the people at betterhelp.com. There's a link below that will take you to their website. We found out through the pandemic that online therapy is both effective and it can be very affordable as well. And so as the need is there, please seek it out. It can be so helpful and so relieving for you to have somebody to say to you, I understand. Let's figure out how we can sift this out so that we can get the best version of you, get the help that you need. In addition, in my retirement from my therapy practice, I put together online courses. They're classes that you can take. Do it at your own pace. You can share with anyone you want. Each course has at least 25 teaching videos with handouts and guided questions. We have anger games about how to stay out of their anger. We also have This Is Me about having good boundaries, free to be, ready, set, connect about being healthy. In addition, you go to our website, you'll also find links for my webinars, which are 90-minute presentations, and they can be very effective in helping you figure things out, along with access to my podcast, plenty of articles, my books, lots of resources. Narcissists bring chaos to you because that's what exists on the inside of themselves. Unfortunately, they refuse to take responsibility because they're so busy trying to make you responsible for their junk. Don't go into that space. I'm hoping you can decide, well, I'm going to sidestep the stuff that they bring. I'm committed to my own healthiness, my own steadiness, because I want to be a person that's able to go and reside in my place of peace.